20 years in the game, talking about dope, straight up. That's what I do. 20 years, straight up. Streets. That's what I cater to. That's who I talk to.
Drake questions your background.
That's fine. I question his writing.
Ooh.
Yo, what up, it's a kid, CJ City. You already know what it is, CJ City TV. So, no sneaker review today. It's more to life than sneakers, all right? We are going to be talking about Drake, Pusha T. We're going to be talking about the story of Adidon. I'm going to be giving you guys my reaction, giving you guys a few theories, breaking down the whole timeline, just showing like some theories that I have, and I'm going to be picking up some lyrics apart and all that good stuff, man. So let's just dive right into this, man. The story of Adidon drops, and the whole world is in a frenzy right now, right?
Damn! Pusha was like, oh yeah? Your dad left you when you were 5, your mom never got married, you got an illegitimate son with a porn star, and your best friend is dying. Whoa!
And why in the hell is Drake doing a photo shoot with blackface and a Jim Crow t-shirt on? Like, I am flabbergasted. You might as well put on a sweater that says I'm the coolest monkey in the jungle.
Sloppy, dusty, soft. Drake, you should be very appalled.
Everybody's like, oh, Drake got killed, man. You know, Pusha T is up 1-0 right now and all this other crazy stuff. That's the first thing I want to address. Let's go in order here, guys, all right? We cannot compare, you know, Duppy to the story of Adidon and then give Pusha T the win over that. We're not doing that. Let's go in order here, guys, all right? So, Pusha T drops Infrared. That's where we have to start. That's where the shots were taken. And then Drake drops Duppy. So the top of the first was Infrared. The bottom of the first was Duppy. Who won that first round? I feel like Drake took that with Duppy, all right? And then now we have the story of Adidon, and we're waiting on Drake's response. So that's gonna be the bottom of the second. So we have to wait for Drake's response to actually judge the story of Adidon. I'm not gonna lie, that track does got Drake looking crazy, man. You know, Pusha T did put the pressure on Drake. He got a lot of people side-eyeing Drake and all that crazy stuff. He got some explaining to do, for sure. It's looking like Pusha T is up and he's going to win this second round, but let's not declare that yet, all right, guys? So now, let's go ahead and go all the way back. Let's talk about what's going on here. There's something that I don't like, man. I don't like the fact that Pusha T is not embracing that he took some shots at Drake to get things stirring up for his album, man. The Daytona album is fire. He's making it seem like, yo, Drake said something, so I needed to respond to Drake. No, fam. Drake took a shot at you. First of all, you took a shot at Drake. You know, you've been baiting this man for years. And then Drake takes a shot at you with the 2 birds and 1 stone. That was almost a year ago, fam. You telling me it took you a whole year to respond to Drake on Infrared? Nah, you stirred the pot up. You knew what you was doing. You was calculated. But I'll give you a thumbs up for that, bro. So Infrared comes out. He takes some shots at Drake, right? Drake then responds with Duppy, and Drake, boy, the slickery of Drake right here. He made people seem like he heard Infrared, and the next day he's on Pusha T's helmet and he drops this. But listen to what my man, you know, Charlamagne the God got to say about that.
Pusha T came out, boom, gave him a shot with Infrared. Less than 24 hours, Drake replies, but let's be for real, it wasn't less than 24 hours. If I had the album on Monday, you don't think fucking Drake had a heads up that this song was coming? Like, why are we so stupid as human beings? Like, seriously.
So wait, when does the album drop? It dropped Friday. You had it a week in advance.
I had it on Monday.
Right, so he also had it on Monday. So he was aware of it.
He wrote a verse. Like,
enough.
how long did it take to write a verse?
So there you have it, all right? This Infrared track was floating around throughout the industry. His album was floating around throughout the industry. I'm sure Drake already heard of it. He caught wind that the Infrared was coming, so he already started writing. He was just waiting for that track to come out so he could just go ahead and release his track, you know? That was some slickery right there, Drake. Made it seem like he responded in 24 hours, but he probably been had that in the tuck and he released it, man. So, you know, but nonetheless, I feel like, you know, Duppy, that was fire. That's the Drake I like to hear. Drake is coming at Pusha T. You know, there are, you know, some speculations like, yo, he didn't really diss Pusha T though. He just kind of dissed Kanye, man. What you got to say about Pusha? He only had about 2-3 lines in there, but overall, I feel like that track was fire, man. Drake definitely took the first round with Duppy. Now, with that diss track, Drake, he does say,
"You keep playing with my name and I'ma let it ring on you like Virginia Williams."
And that, you know, supposedly is why Pusha T came at Drake the way that he did on, you know, the story of Adidon.
You mentioned my fiance.
I think that's when you cross the line.
Of course.
He's never met your fiance?
No, of course not.
He doesn't know your fiance?
Of course not.
But that was his version of gloves off.
I mean, I guess.
So then you took it to his mom, his dad, his friend.
Because you have to speak to the character of a person. Like
Sure.
I don't know
baby
why
he's allegedly hiding.
I don't even know why it even had to go there. You know what I'm saying? Where I had to go there. So it's like, okay, man, I have to analyze that.
Now, that's another thing. I don't like that from Pusha, man. He's making it seem like, well, you mentioned, you know, my wife, so now all gloves is off. I'm gonna talk about your baby mom. I'm gonna talk about your son. I'm gonna talk about, you know, your homie 40 and all the other stuff. Let's be real. That information that Pusha T had, do you really think that he would have kept that to himself if Drake would not have mentioned his wife? All of that information, he would have just, you know, dissed him about something else or probably barred his life away. No, Pusha T been sitting on his information. He been baiting Drake and he been waiting. If it wouldn't have been his wife, it would have been something else. Y'all don't talk about Kanye like that, man. That's my family, so now I gotta unleash this information I know about you. He was just waiting to roll out that information, so I don't like the fact that he tried to make this seem like you mentioned my wife, so now I'm attacking you, man. But nonetheless, still feel like the story of Adidon was the perfect angle to take. Feel like it was perfectly executed. He, like I said, he got everybody looking at Drake with the side eye, man. Like, what's up with this dude, man? He got some explaining to do. First of all, with the album cover, are you kidding me? Drake puts on the black face, does the whole Jim Crow and all that other stuff. And then Drake proceeds to actually release this statement right here. There's a couple of things I see wrong here. First of all, you know, Drake, you gotta charge your phone up, bro. We see the phone is dying, man. That is a sad indication that you are not on that thing writing no bars, man. Cause you write 4 bars, that phone gonna die. We need to see that phone charged up so we know you actively on that phone writing bars. We need to hear this response. I don't like the fact that your phone is dying. That's number one. The second thing, I don't like he tried to cop out, tried to explain it. It just wasn't good enough, man. Do you know what the blackface stands for, man? That is white people making a mockery of black people, you know, just parading on stage with their minstrel show or whatever the case is. Drake, that's too sensitive of a topic. And your explanation really wasn't that good in the first place anyway, dog. So, you know, honestly, he loses a lot of respect. He loses a lot of points from me, you know, just with the album cover, man. Pusha T ain't even spit a lyric yet and Drake is looking shaky right now. So, you know, then he proceeds to talk about that Drake is a deadbeat dad, right? He's hiding his, you know, son. Let that boy come across. He's playing Border Patrol. And my theory with that is I feel like, you know, Drake is from Toronto. He's from Canada. He probably has his son out there and he doesn't want him out here in the US because maybe paparazzi's gonna get to him. Maybe the speculation of him having a baby with a porn star is gonna be confirmed. All this other crazy stuff. He says he's a deadbeat dad. We don't know if he's deadbeat, if he doesn't take care of it. But I will say that I feel like Pusha T is getting all his information because we're like, yo, how does Pusha T know all this stuff about Drake? How does he know where his son is located? How does he know that he has a son? How does he know the baby mama? How does he know all this crazy stuff? My theory is Pusha T's source is actually the baby mama. That's what I'm thinking here, which proves that it's facts. But we don't know how factual it is because let's be honest, when you're dealing with a disgruntled ex, she could be exaggerating certain things. She could just be speaking out of anger. So we don't know how much, you know, truth there is to what Pusha T is saying, but there is some truth to it. He's not just pulling the stuff out of thin air. There's actually some truth to that, man. So he said Drake is a deadbeat dad. Why did he say that? Check out this tweet from Drake's baby mama. So there you have it. Drake's baby mama said out of her mouth that, you know, forget Drake, he's a deadbeat dad. And then after all this frenzy and all this stuff, if you go back to her Twitter page, all of her tweets are gone. You're not gonna be able to see that, man. So somebody was playing cleanup, somebody was controlling this girl. They had her erase that tweet, erase all of her tweets. Her Instagram, if you go to her Instagram, she has about 7 photos on there, man. They look lovely. They look like a nice woman. You know, there wasn't nothing like parading her sexuality or anything like that, man. They did a cleanup job on that as well. But I'm telling you, she said F Drake. You know, he's a deadbeat dad. That's what she said. So that's why Pusha T put it in his lyrics. Pusha T, like I said, that's his source. So obviously he knows this girl was a porn star or whatever the case is. She has a baby by Drake. He got that information from her. I feel like he got that information from her as well about Drake hiding his son, not letting him come to the US. He got that from her. Who else would he get this information from? Another thing that he talks about on that record is, you know, Drake decides that he's going to roll out his son throughout his, you know, Adidas campaign. And we all know that Drake is going to Adidas. I'm a sneakerhead. We know he left Jordan brand and he's going to Adidas, but we didn't know he was gonna roll out a new brand or a new clothing line, and then he was gonna actually have his son. I don't know if he's gonna do like DJ Khaled or anything like that. Pusha T explains it himself in this clip, so listen to it right here.
Listen, even the baby thing is a little crazy. Who rolls out their child with a sweatsuit? Like, get out of here. What are you doing?
I didn't understand that line.
Explain that Adidas situation.
See, the Adidas situation is this. The child, allegedly, his new line on Adidas is called Adidon, which is named after Adonis, his son. But we couldn't know about your child until you start selling sweatsuits and sneakers.
So you could clearly hear Pusha T explaining all of that right there. So he has this vital information. He's putting it out to the world. And I just feel like those were the perfect angles to take with this diss track. And Drake is already down on the second round. And the scary part is Pusha T ain't even rapped yet, dog. And when I say rap, I'm talking about like barring his life away, punchlines, similes, lyricism, just coming at Drake crazy. He ain't even done that yet. He ain't even gotten to that bag. So the next round could get really scary, man. Something that I do want to address is this shot clock everybody is like seeming to put on these battle rappers or on these artists. When a diss track comes, you gotta respond within 24 hours or a week, or, you know, it's just too late. Honestly, it never used to be like that, dog. Nas took about 3 months to respond to Jay-Z with Ether. Let's give these artists some time, and frankly, Drake needs the time here, all right? We need to put the pressure on Drake to respond, period. Because if we let Drake off the hook for not responding in time, he's probably going to take it, man, because it's looking pretty bad right now. Drake could easily bow out like, yo, I got an album coming out. I said what I need to say. It took too long. The whole thing kind of died down and I didn't respond. No, we need a response, Drake. We need to hear from you, dog. Let's keep this thing rolling. You cannot sit this one out. You cannot bow out gracefully. We need to hear a response from Drake. So instead of putting the pressure on Drake to respond in a timely fashion, let's all put the pressure on Drake to actually respond, all right? So Drake does need to respond, but let's talk more about the story of Adidon. A lot of people are saying, yo, man, I feel like Pusha T, he kind of went a little bit too far with the stuff that he talked about, right? And Pusha T is basically saying, you talked about my wife, so there is no too far for me. You crossed that line, I'm crossing the line. I don't feel like Drake crossed that line, really. He just mentioned his name, his wife's name. Maybe he just wanted to let Pusha T know, hey, bro, I know who your wife is, man. You better be careful. But he didn't really diss her like that, man. So for Pusha T to actually say the stuff he said about Drake, and especially the 40, you know, line, I feel like that was below the belt. That was kind of foul. But then again, I don't think that bar was made to get no crowd reaction, to get no reaction from the people like, dang, did you hear that? That was fire. I think he really just wanted to get under Drake's skin, piss him off crazy, you know, have him in his emotional feelings, his emo bag. And I feel like he accomplished all of that. I feel like that line was just for Drake, all right? So if you look at it that way, then maybe it takes a little sting off of it. But then again, it still was bad, man. And I was talking about this. A lot of people seem to be saying this is like the most disrespectful thing in the world. It's not to me, man. You know, a lot of people be talking about, yo, I'm about to F your wife, or I F'd your wife, I slept with your wife. And people downplay that, like, I guess maybe they're desensitized to that phrase because we hear it so much. But if you really think about it, man, what's more disrespectful? For somebody to actually sleep with your wife and then talk about it, or to talk about your homie who's sick, man. Honestly, just really think about that. The person who slept with my wife and is out here flaunting and taunting about it, I need to see him way quicker than somebody who's talking about my homie who's sick, even though that is foul, but just really think about it, man. So I feel like there are other things worse that have been said in the hip hop, man. All right, but yeah, like I said, man, let's not put no timeline on Drake. I feel like he needs to respond. The thing is, a lot of people are saying this is all speculation. This is pretty much confirmed, all right? If you watch the Joe Budden podcast, you know, he basically confirms he knows Sophie. You know, all of this is real with Drake's baby mom, the fact that she does porn and all this other stuff. You know, let's give Drake the time that he needs, because boy, does he need it. And he got to respond fast, man. If you guys, you know, agree with me, drop those comments down below. Let me know what you guys are feeling about the battle so far. How do you guys call this? Please call it fair, all right? Infrared versus Duppy, not Duppy versus Storia Adidon. All right, so drop those comments down below. You already know what it is. I'm CJ City. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Got a lot more content coming. I appreciate all the love. Peace.